What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cars No Cap, where I pretty much buy a new car to review for you all every year and give you the longer term review on that car. Started with my Acura TLX, went to a Jeep Gladiator. After the Jeep Gladiator, I went to a BMW 330i, and then after the 330i, now I'm in the Jeep 392. But I'm finally at the point where it's time to sell this vehicle, and I've had it for probably like 8 or 9 months now. And I'm going to tell you the positives and negatives on this car. I'm going to try to do a full review today, and then I'm going to give you all the reasons why I'm selling it, the things that I like, and the things that I hate about it. So with that said, overall, if you want the quick and short version of this video, I'm selling it mostly because I need more room. So my wife is pregnant. We are due pretty soon, this coming Tuesday actually, and this vehicle just doesn't have enough space for a car seat. So let's start there real quick. Obviously you need a car seat when you have a baby. This is the upper baby Mesa, and you'll see here when I turn it sideways, I just can't get it in there. It just doesn't fit right. So, and I don't even have the base in this thing, and I'm only 5'9" and a half, 5'10", and I can't really fit the seat in there with where my car seat is, and I don't sit back that far. It's really not, shouldn't be that difficult. So that's reason number one why I'm selling this vehicle. I just need more room. But with that said, there's a lot of other things that are reasons why I am selling this vehicle. Before we get into all those reasons though, I think I would be doing you all an injustice if I didn't do one more final remote start with the Jeep 392. So let's just hear that 392 real quick. Every time. Gets me every time. Now look, if you have multiple cars and you're just trying to buy a $85,000 toy, this is your car. Just go buy it, put it in the garage, take care of it. It's not going to be the most reliable thing for you. It's not going to be the most fuel efficient, but it will be a total blast to drive every time you get in it and pop that sky top. All right, so let's go talk about the other reasons of why I'm selling this car. All right, so turn this down. Okay, I'd say my top number 2 reason of why I was able to talk myself into selling this car, obviously, more other than that I need to fit my child in the back. You'll see that right there, 5,000 mile trip. It's a 5,000 mile trip with 11.1 miles per gallon on average. That is completely atrocious. It really is. I know everybody says, hey, you really got to expect that with the 392, and I get it, but it really is rated much higher than that. It's rated at 13 in the city, 17 on the highway, and I clearly am not getting 13 in the city, and I certainly am not getting 17 on the highway. The fuel mileage is just truly atrocious, and there's not really much that you can do about it. I've tried to do everything from like air my tires up. You'll see they're aired down right now because it's freezing in Atlanta today. But yeah, really just nothing quite does what you need it to do. All right, so let's do a quick drive while I'm sharing the other reasons with you. We'll take you on a little POV drive here. So I already mentioned gas mileage. Gas mileage is definitely not good. And then the other thing is that I really just think that this vehicle is pretty overpriced for what it is. I think I paid like maybe 82 or something like that. Tax and tag was probably out the door at 83, 84 because I had a trade-in. I'm gonna put the camera down here because we got a police officer. Don't want any trouble with the fuzz. All right, so yeah, so anyway, gas mileage, and then after that, I think it's just overpriced for what it is. It's like 83,000, something like that. I mean, you might pay, around MSRP or slightly over for these. I just think it's completely overpriced. There's a lot of things that I would buy that would be much nicer. This thing's built in Ohio, but a lot of the parts are not really like sourced from, great factories. And I will say that like the build quality, things move, things creak, everything just kind of sounds like it's cheap. And I know the Jeeps are meant to be rough and rugged, but at the same time, when you're spending $83,000 for a car, you want all the touch points to feel good. Now, the steering wheel's not bad, the shifter's not bad, but it's the same stuff that was in my Gladiator Mojave, and I just when I'm paying that additional extra premium for them to just put a V8 in it, it's like, come on, give me some extra plushness in the interior. I think that's the least that FCA or Stellantis now could do. So that's one of the reasons why I'm selling it. I think I'll get a lot more luxury out of my next vehicle, which is the going to be the Lexus GX 460 Blackline Edition, which I'm actually picking up later today, and I'll have a video on the channel about that. The fourth reason that I'm selling it is cabin noise. So this car on the highway, like if I have my family in this car and we're driving on the highway, I mean, it is atrociously loud. Like if I have somebody in the back seat and I'm doing 75 miles an hour and I got all the windows up, all the doors up, and the radio off, we have to speak loudly to hear each other. Now again, like I know there's gonna be people in the comments like, man, it's a Jeep, like that's what you get. And I get that. I understand you don't want to have a bunch of padding in an off-road vehicle, but I think I've realized for me, it's just not the right vehicle for a daily driver. I think that's really what I've come down to. I don't want to bash Jeep too much on that, because I understand, like, look, if you go through a bunch of water, you don't want to have a bunch of, padding and sound deadening material underneath, in between the fabric of the headliner and the floor and the subframe and all that. You don't want to have too much padding in there, because if it gets wet, it'll kind of get gross and moldy and things like that. But with that said, I just don't think it's the right thing for me. Now we're gonna do one last rip in this thing before I get to reason number 5, but I am driving past a police station, so wish me luck. Gotta love that noise. Really gotta love that noise. This motor there, the one thing that I do love about it is the sound and the power. It's always there for you. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say I don't love this car. I do love this 392. I know I'm gonna miss it when I'm driving my GX that only has 300 horsepower, but with that said, I think my GX will be much more comfortable and reliable in the long run. Going around turns right now, I mean, I'm doing 40, and it feels like I really shouldn't go much faster. There goes the car seat in the back. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, I didn't have it mounted in, but it just doesn't fit. I just can't believe how tight it is in the back of this car for that car seat. I was really bummed about that. I thought I was going to be able to have a 4-door, family off-roader, and it just doesn't quite fit the bill for what we need. All right, and then 5 with this car, one of my biggest reasons for selling it is that I've had a lot of fun with it. I love it. But with that said, I think that if you're gonna buy a 6.4 liter Hemi motor, right, and you want to have that fun with that motor, I think what you should do is I think you should just buy a sports car that has a big ass V8 in it. You'll get better gas mileage, you'll have more fun with it, etc. Whereas this is just kind of more an off-roader. You don't need 500 horsepower when you're doing standard off-roading. You just need torque. The diesel motor would probably be fine. The V6 that I had was fine. Like, you don't need that much power to push these things off-road. And most of us are not extreme rock crawlers. I go off-roading here and there in the North Georgia mountains and stuff like that. But like, I'm not doing some crazy like boulder canyon that I need some crazy power to get me up it. I don't think anybody really does that or needs it. So yeah, I think it's more just for fun. So what I would say is this car is something that I would just recommend buying a sports car instead, and then having like an off-roader as an alternative vehicle. I understand that, we're trying to package it all into one in this vehicle, and that's kind of what I was trying to do when I bought this. I was like, oh, it's great. It'll do everything. It'll be a sports car and it'll be an off-roader. But, it's really not sporty. I won't say that. Like, it's, the Fox suspension on this is better than a standard Jeep, but it's not by any means sporty. It goes fast in a straight line, but more than that straight line, you'll be freaking out if you hit a turn fast in this thing, just like you would in any Jeep. All right, and now the last reason that I am getting rid of it, or not really a reason why I'm getting rid of it, a reason why I'm getting the GX more so, is that I really love the reliability factor of the Lexus GX. The Lexus GX 460 is one of the most reliable cars on the road. And, we've known this for a while. I know Car and Driver or JD Power or somebody just ranked it as one of the most reliable cars. That's not why I'm buying it. I'm buying it because that 4.6 liter V8 has been proven for years. And I know that like people are just now starting to talk about how reliable it is. It's been reliable. 4Runners have been reliable. The 5.7 V8, all the Toyota V8 motors and larger 6-cylinder motors from Toyota for the past couple of years are overall way more reliable than what you're getting out of, other manufacturers, whether it be German manufacturers or, FCA, Stellantis, all the things that have happened to Chrysler over the last couple of years. So with that said, that's why I'm buying the G8. I want to be able to take a long road trip with my family and not care, you know, not think about it. I know my Jeep is under warranty still, but the GX 460 has a better warranty. It's like 7 years, and I think 7 years and 60,000 miles or something like that. So I'm buying it for reliability. Now, the reason I decided to finally buy a GX is because in 2022, they redesigned the interior. The interior has now gotten Apple CarPlay. It's gotten a full overhaul, so it doesn't look like that super old, you know, Tundra 4Runner interior. But for those of you who know, it's built on like the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado frame and body, and it's basically a Land Cruiser Prado with a different, you know, front grille and fascia and all that stuff on it. So we know that it's been proven over the years. So I'm really excited to pick that car up today. I'll make a video for that, and I'll eventually link it down below. I hope you guys come back to check that video out. And yeah, I just think it's going to be more reliable. I think it's going to be a better daily driver. I think the build quality is going to be really great because it's going to come out of the Sahara factory in Japan, where some of the best build quality is known to come from in the Toyota Land Cruiser, the GX 460, the Toyota Prado, Land Cruiser Prado. There's a couple factors in Japan that are really, really known for quality control. And as a car guy, I just really love the idea of like my car is going to be built well, and I can go and, you know, drive it into the ground if I want to. And I can also probably work on it myself because it's a pretty simple Toyota motor. It's got a timing chain instead of a timing belt, things like that. But yeah, so that's why I'm getting rid of the 392, getting my Lexus GX 460, picking it up today. If you have any questions for me, drop them down in the comments. I've had this car for, you know, I don't know, 8 months now. I've driven it all over the place, long road trips. I'll leave you with this. If you love Jeeps, you love V8s, and you have an alternative car to drive with your family, like a larger SUV or a Toyota Highlander or something like that, if you have something bigger, I would recommend, yeah, sure, buy this vehicle all day. It's a fun vehicle to drive, but I wouldn't probably do it as my daily driver unless I didn't have to carry a lot of passengers, have kids. You know, if it was just something that made sense for your individual situation. For everybody else, I think that it's a fun car, and that's what I did. I bought it for a couple months. The resale value on these is super strong, so I've owned it for 8 months. I'm gonna trade it in for $77,000. I bought it for a sticker was like $81,500. So if you exclude taxes and tags on that, you know, I spent $5,000 to drive this vehicle for 8 months. It's not that bad being an $80-some thousand, you know, high-end, you know, luxury sports car, off-roader, SUV, whatever you want to call it. So resale on Wranglers is great, but with that said, reliability is not that great on Wranglers. Like they're really not all that reliable. Particularly, I know the 6.4 Hemi is a fairly reliable motor, but with that said, like it's not known to go 300,000 miles or more with minimal problems like some of the Toyota V8s are. And I really geek out over that, to be honest. Am I going to keep my car 300,000 miles? Probably not, but I really do just kind of like the idea of having that. Because like I said on this channel, I tend to buy a new car every year and review it for you guys like this. So for now, I'm moving on to the Lexus GX 460. We will see what's after that, and I'll make an update video on that when I get it. All right, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe down below. Drop me a comment, say what's up. I really appreciate it. Having a lot of fun doing the channel, and I want to keep it going. So yeah, shoot your questions my way, and I'll get back to you when I can. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe.